Rap to you real quick. I want to enjoy the luxury of like not knowing each other for real. Hold up. Lord is flower bound, firefly. When I'm low, she take me high. I can teach you all the sounds of love. Flower bomb, let me guess your favorite fragrance. And you got that bomb.
What's up, guys? Chris here again with Aquarium Conversations, and I have an update. So, for those of you who don't know who have not been following the channel, this is a Marineland 27-gallon cube, and for about the past 6 months, I had it set up as saltwater. Dun 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 dun. And I noticed in this saltwater tank, I had a problem with algae. And algae, for those of us who enjoy freshwater tanks, know that algae is not the enemy. I think the mistake I made with this tank was I put it pretty close to a window. That's on me. That's not on the saltwater ecosystem or anything like that, or the fish or the live rock or any of that kind of stuff. But as the algae grew, so did my interest. So I thought, man, if I can grow algae the way that I was growing it in a saltwater tank, what could I do with live plants? So here I am, admitting my faults and mistakes and mishaps to the world and saying that I screwed up. I did a review on the light, that Aquatop marine light right there, and I'm keeping that bad boy right there because that light is amazing. Excuse me, keeping that light. But if you remember, when I did the review on that light, this saltwater tank was a mess. And I said, well, if I can do that with algae, what can I do with live plants? So forgive me for going back to my roots, no pun intended. I wanted to do another heavily planted tank. I wanted to get back to substrate. I wanted to get back to root tabs. I wanted to get back to Anubias and Crypts and all the things that I've had success with before. I wanted to get back to what I know. Don't get me wrong. I love saltwater, and I still have my 40-gallon saltwater in the dining room set up. That's not going anywhere. Oh, that's not going anywhere. Love that saltwater tank. But this particular tank right here, I thought would be better off as a planted freshwater tank. So here we are, folks. Back to the old familiar, the old reliable, as I call it, the substrate, the rocks, the plants, the driftwood. Come on now, we've done this so many times before. But it's a formula that works. There's no fish in here right now. I'll let you guys, give me some options, give me some ideas, what kind of fish you'd put in here. But I wanted to do a heavily planted tank. Now, I'm going to go around here in a second, and some of the plants in here and the concepts are super simple, and they're based off of just success I've had in the past. Anubias and Crypts, period. There's a bunch of Anubias in here and attached to driftwood and in pots and things like that. And there's some Crypts in the back and some Crypts over here and some Crypts over here. Real simple, guys. Because I know this combination, this formula is effective. It works. I've seen it. I've done it. Anybody who's looking to get into the planted tanks, Crypts and Anubias. And I'm sure there's some other plants. You got your Java ferns, you got your Java mosses and mosses, and I probably could do mosses in here and all that kind of stuff. But I really wanted to go back to what I knew. And the fact of the matter is I'm hoping. The hope is with this tank, with the amount of algae it grew from being here by the window, with fish in it, with this light and those things, I'm hoping these plants take off. Really am. Hoping these plants take off. And that's my goal here, is to get these plants rooted, taking off and flourishing before I add fish. Wait a minute. Are you telling me you're not going to put fish in here? Well, yeah, eventually. But the goal is to get these plants rooted and healthy and established before I put fish in here. That's the goal. So, forgive me, and I'm going to do my best because guys, I'm not the most patient person. I'm really not. But I'm going to do my best to have this tank established and balanced. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. You guys have heard me talk about that term before. Before I put fish in it, I don't know what kind of fish I'm going to be. Not a clue. This is a 27-gallon cube. Excuse me, not a clue. I mean, I could do one or two relatively medium-sized fish, or I could do maybe 7 or 8 smaller fish, maybe something like that. I got my Seachay shark back there, and the Seachay whale. I got plenty of filtration. I'm not worried about that. And when the plants take hold, this thing will essentially take care of itself. But the goal was to get it to that point before I had fish. So, hang along with me on this journey. I got some crypts. These aren't the spiralis, but those are the crypt, kind of like spiralis. Some crypts, the Wentii brown and reds and the Nubius all over the place. And that's what I want to do. I want to get back to what got me into this hobby. I want to keep it simple. I want to be smart. Um, you know, I want to rely on concepts that have worked prior, and that's the goal. Fish. I don't know. We'll kind of decide on that. But my goal is to get these plants healthy and get this tank balanced, and like I said, kind of get back to what I know as far as substrates. I mean, there's some sand in there and some rocks, but underneath that is a layer of fluvial stratum. And when was the last time you guys heard me talk about fluvial stratum, right? That old reliable, that concept that, probably one of the first things I learned as far as aquascaping and getting into the hobby, as far as a healthy substrate. I even put root tabs in there to really kind of boost some of the nutrient levels and things like that. And I'm sure there'll still be some algae and things like that, but the goal is to have these plants out competing the algae for nutrients and to not really have an algae problem. We'll see what happens. Knock on wood. We'll see what happens. Is that a guarantee? No, but super excited. At first, the saltwater idea was really fun. That I may revisit that again. I just think in this particular location, with the amount of light that hits it, you're going to need those plants or seaweed if you're going to go saltwater and things like that to essentially absorb those nutrients, or you're going to have a disaster like I had. So it was coming. It was kind of a foregone conclusion. When I saw the algae start, I said, "Man, I don't have any saltwater plants or seaweed to put in here." And the fish were doing fine. That wasn't the issue. It's just the fact that the tank was an eyesore. So I said, "Well, if this tank gets that much light, excuse me, Let me plant the damn thing. Let me go back to what I know. Let me go back to what I know has been a successful combination. So here I am, bearing my soul, letting you guys know that I've kind of redone some things, made a mistake, and I'm not going to say a mistake just because the fish were fine. You know, it's just the location I did. I think it's best served that this tank be a planted freshwater tank rather than a saltwater tank. And again, nothing, no issues with the saltwater hobby. My 40-gallon is still up and flourishing, so I'm enjoying the hell out of that. But this particular tank, I think, is best served as a freshwater tank, and we'll see how these plants take off in the weeks and the months to come. And then let me know down below, guys, what fish you think would go in this 27-gallon cube. You know, let's keep it sensible. Hopefully, nothing too outrageous. Cichlids, maybe a couple rams, maybe a couple rams. Tetras obviously are given. You know, we'll see what's available, but let me know what you guys think, and I'll leave it there, guys. And as always, talk to you guys down the road. Bye.